Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. My name is Jeremy Walsh, and I'm the Director of Support, Training, and Documentation for BNI Connect. I'd like to welcome everybody to the webinar today. So today's webinar is part of our leadership team series of webinars, and today we're going to go through the online renewal process. Now, the online renewal process that's relatively one of the newer features in BNI Connect. It's only a couple of years old now, and one thing to note is that this is an optional procedure. So not all regions are using this piece of functionality. This is something that many regions are using it, but not all of them. And we have new regions that are beginning to use this particular functionality on a monthly basis. As a matter of fact, I know we have one region, the Miami region in the United States here, that's going to be coming on board with this functionality as of April 1st. So if you're here from that region learning about this, thank you so much for being here. And if you have any questions, of course, this is a live webinar. So if you're here on the 30th of March 2017. Again, this is live, which means you can ask questions. And the way to ask questions, unfortunately, we can't open up the mics on this type of a webinar. So the way to ask questions is with your fingers. If you type those questions into the questions panel, I will see those pop up on my screen and I can answer them as we are going along today. Now, other quick housekeeping things. This is it's set to be a 30-minute webinar, so we try to keep these things short and sweet and really to the point. This particular one, I know, usually about 25 minutes or so of content. That said, this is what I do all day, every day. I answer questions about BNI Connect and provide support for the system. So if you have tons and tons of questions, I will stay here until every single question has been answered. So no worries there. The only silly question is the unasked question. The other thing is that we do record every single one of these webinars. I have an archive of hundreds of them, and we will post them on the interwebs. So they will be put up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BNI Connect Global. Again, that's the BNI Connect Global YouTube channel. You can also find them on the support site. Go log into BNI Connect and click that question mark in the upper right-hand corner, and you will find a full library full of help material. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Again, we're going to talk about the online renewals today. And again, if you're not sure if you're using online renewals, please check with your executive director. And the parts that we're going to cover today is there's two sides of this. There's what a member does and what a member sees. And then there's what the leadership team does and what the leadership team sees. So we're going to look at this from both sides today. And it's not all a PowerPoint. We're actually going to log into BNI Connect and show you what this looks like step by step. So first things first, this is the overall process, and really the process is the same as it is on paper. So a member, they complete a renewal application. That renewal application is then reviewed and it is approved, and then that renewal is reconciled by the regional office to confirm that payment has been taken for that. So the online process really is the same. The only difference is that we're doing this electronically instead of on paper. So first things first, let's look at this from a member perspective, okay? So we're going to put our member hats on right now and look at what this looks like to the member. Now, there's a number of different ways that a member can start this process, right? So there's 4 different ways that they can begin the online application. The first way is that they will be sent a reminder email. So 60 days before they're due for renewal, so 2 months before they're due for renewal, they will get a reminder saying, hey, Johnny, by the way, you are up for renewal. Would you like to start that renewal process now? They can click on a link within that email and it will start the renewal application. The second possible way is there's an option to put a button on the regional websites. So, whatever your regional website is, mine here in Rhode Island, it's bniri.com. If you're in Miami, it's bnimiami.com, bniarizona.com. Everybody has their own regional website, so you can put a button there. The third way is that there is a Renew Now link on the home screen in BNI Connect. So as soon as a member logs in, one of the options on the screen says Renew Now, and they can click that button. The fourth way is that if they're in their profile, they click in to edit their profile. On the first page, there's also a Renew Now button. And believe it or not, there's actually a fifth way that I don't have listed here. The fifth way is if a leadership team pre-approves a member. They say, hey, these members are coming up for renewal. We think this is a really good member. We're just going to green light his online renewal now. The member will get a congratulatory email saying, hey, congratulations, you have been approved already by your membership committee. Would you like to start the renewal process? So there's 5 different ways a member can start this. All right, so this is one of those ways. They will get that reminder email, and you can see in this email there's a couple of links. Renew now, and then down here, renew now. Hard to miss it. They just click that link and it will start the renewal application. Second way, on various websites, these are just a couple of examples. This one's the Minnesota website. They have a blue Renew Now button. BNI Heartland has these burgundy Renew Now buttons, and Arizona has one of these squared off, more reddish Renew Now buttons. It doesn't matter what the button looks like. They all go to the same place. So why don't we take a look at this? I'm going to log in as one of my members, one of my test members, and let's actually step through the application to see what it looks like. So let's see, one of my test members in Antarctica in my Burr chapter is Marky Mark. Marky Mark from the Funky Bunch. Let's go ahead and log in as Marky Mark here. Marky Mark is coming up for renewal. He's actually up for renewal on May 1st. And he's looking to take advantage of the current pricing structure. So he's going to log in a little bit early and sign up for his renewal now. So he does that. He can click this Renew Now link right here. Of course, he could have clicked on the website and all these other places, but there's one option here, Renew Now. And as I said, there's another place where it is. If he was in updating his profile and looking at his information here, there is a renew button here as well. So no matter where you click it, it all brings you to this renewal application. Renewal application is pretty straightforward. Keep in mind that the renewal applications are different. They're customized per country. So this is my renewal application in Antarctica, which is going to be different than the renewal application in the United States, and in Canada, in Germany, in the United Kingdom. It's going to be set for their legal requirements and their questionnaires, as well as their various fees. In Antarctica, it's only $3 for a 1-year renewal. I can also click 2-year and have it be $4 for a 2-year renewal. So it's up to the member which they're going to choose. I'm going to go ahead and choose a 2-year renewal. Then they just have to answer these questions. Now, again, the questions may vary country by country, but here I'm just going to go ahead. Obviously, questions with a asterisk are mandatory. And choose which positions, and that's it for the questionnaire part. So there's 2 other parts here. One says check and update your member details. If I click this plus sign, this will allow me to go in and really look at the details of my profile and see if there's anything I want to change. So keep in mind anything with a pound sign here. So these pound signs, that means that those are special fields that will require additional approval. Okay, so what we're doing here is if we change those, we're actually requesting a change. If they're going to change their name or their company name, or they're going to change their profession and their specialty, if they do change that, the leadership team, they will get a special notice saying, hey, by the way, Marky Mark renewed, but he changed his profession from architecture to computer consulting, right? So we'll see that there is that change. So if this member was pre-approved, by the way, that pre-approval will go away and they have to be approved afterwards because they now have to be approved with this new change on their profile. All right, the next thing they have to do is read and understand the general policies. They can click on that link and go read them. Once they click, I have agreed to these, then proceed to payment will be lit. Now we do have a question from Barry. Barry says, will members only be allowed to do online renewals from 4/1/17 in the Miami region? Yes, that is true, Barry. We are turning this on Saturday. So starting with members the members that are due in May, they will be the first ones to have an opportunity to renew. And, from that point forward, anybody, so even if you're due in June, July, August, if you're due, 2 years from now and you want to renew now, you can go in and start the renewal process. So does that answer your question, Barry? Awesome. And I do know, here in the United States, I know that there will be I believe a price increase coming up on June 1st in a lot of areas. So there is the opportunity for people to be able to renew early in order to take advantage of current pricing. All right. So moving on down, once you've accepted it, I proceed to payment. So as soon as you click proceed to payment, this application is now saved and we start the payment process. Okay, so the payment process is we can choose what form of payment we're going to do. So this is going to vary by region. Some regions will only accept credit cards. Some regions accept check or other forms of payment, offline credit card like paying through a shopping cart or PayPal or something. In Antarctica here, we only accept checks. So it's going to say check and it gives you the instructions on what to do with that check. And in our case, in the Burr chapter, we would like all checks hand delivered to Steve. So we can do that. And if you want to, you can also accept a proof of payment. So they can maybe have to do a scan of it or a picture of it and then upload that, and that will become part of the record. Once they're done there, they click submit. Thank you for applying. You will be notified once you are approved. So that, my friends, is it. Anybody that has ever bought anything online knows how to fill out an online application and enter their credit card information. Easy peasy, right? So that's it from a member's perspective. So let me go ahead and sign out as a member, and let's just review that real quick. So from a member perspective, what we're doing is we're going to go and we're going to click on one of those 5 different links that take us there. We're going to complete the application. We're going to choose a payment, and the member will get notifications. So Marky Mark got some emails saying, hey, thanks for applying. Here's your payment receipt, all that type of thing. All right, so that's it for a member. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our member hat off, and we're going to put our leadership team hat on. All right, so let's look at this from a leadership team perspective. Okay, so here's the deal with online renewals. An online renewal must also be approved online. So the paper renewals, those get signed by the membership committee, right? By the vice president usually saying, yes, we approve this renewal. With the online renewals, the vice president or a representative from the membership committee needs to go into BNI Connect and approve the renewal application. Okay, so if it's an online renewal, it has to be approved online, and the application can't be finalized. We can't proceed with it unless it is approved. So keep that in mind. They all must be approved online. Now there can be a full approval, just a regular old-fashioned, yep, we like this member is continuing. It could be a conditional approval, meaning, yeah, membership committee had some reservations about this one. We're kind of putting them on probation for this renewal. Now the conditions of that approval are completely up to you, your region, your chapter, and enforcing it. All we're going to do on the BNI Connect side is put a little mark on their record saying this was conditional. How you enforce that is completely up to you. Now there's 2 different types of approvals. There's pre-approvals and there's post-approvals. So I mentioned this before that if membership committees should be meeting in advance to review their members. It shouldn't just be a thumbs up or thumbs down once they submit it. This should be a process where usually 90 days out they're reviewing the people that are due in 3 months. Well, at that point or at any point before the member actually submits the renewal, you can go in and say, you know what, we've already met, we've already discussed this one, we're going to just go ahead and approve it now. So, membership committees can be proactive about this process. Or if the member beats them to the punch, they can do it afterwards as well. So the final step in this is that the application is reconciled in the office. In other words, the office says, yes, we confirm payment, and they mark it as complete, and the process is completely finished at that point. So pre-approval. Okay, so a pre-approval means membership committee, we had our meeting, we like this member, we're going to go ahead and pre-approve it. We can do that 2 ways. On the 21st of every month, The membership committee gets an email. Membership committee, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and the director consultant of the chapter, they get an email saying, hey guys, we have this list of people that are due for renewal sometime in the next 90 days. Would you like to pre-approve them now? You can have your membership committee meeting. You can then click on the link in there and register that approval, the pre-approval if you'd like to. One thing to note on the pre-approvals, this is not a vote that we're taking online. All it is a recording of the decision. So only one person, one delegate of the membership committee or the vice, it's usually going to be the vice president, only one person needs to go in and actually mark it in BNI Connect. All right, so you can do this two ways. Again, that reminder email or on the membership dues report in BNI Connect. So let me show you that. I'm going to log in as one of my leadership team people. So let me go back over here to BNI Connect. And my vice president of my chapter is my good friend Adam Sandler. So Adam Sandler, he needs to go in and do some membership committee stuff. If he clicked on the link, it would bring him directly right there. Otherwise, he can go to reports. He can go to the chapter reports. And he can go to the membership dues report. The membership dues report will show us all of our people when they're up for renewal, so on and so forth. We can see that Marky Mark here has already submitted his renewal. He's pending renewal already. But let's say that, okay, well, here we go. Joey Tribbiani, one of my good friends, Joey, he has not yet done his renewal for April 1st. So I could go in, click on the little red head there, and we can pre-approve his renewal. We can see it says pre-approval up there. Now what it's going to show us is the member performance. This is the last 6 months of detail. This is the last 6 months of detail that we can see there. We can also click where it says training details. If we click on the training details, this will take us to Joey's profile where we can view any of his training records. We can also go through his profile and say, hey, did Joey fill out his profile? Is he participating? Has he filled out his bio or anything like that? Does he seem to have any connections? Are there any testimonials about him? So we can really kind of look at his credibility here as a member. So even though it doesn't look like he's participating all that much, we're desperate to keep Joey on the team, so we can go ahead and start the pre-approval process. Now, you do have to click this first box that says, by checking this box, I certify that all necessary membership reviews and discussions have taken place. This is your affirmation that you're not just doing this on a whim, that your membership committee did have a meeting. Once you do that, once you click that off, the pre-approve button will light up. I can just go ahead and pre-approve this, or I can mark that its approval is conditional, or I can mark that we sent some accountability letters. Right? Again, this isn't going to send any letters. It isn't going to enforce any conditions. It's just putting a mark on his record saying that we are doing so. I'm just going to go ahead and pre-approve Joey now. And once again, Joey will get an email saying, congratulations, Joey, you just got pre-approved. Would you like to continue the process of renewing right now? Right, and again, we can go through any other ones that we need to. And that's it. That's the pre-approval process, right? So you can either click on the renewal reminder or you can click in the membership dues report. Let's take a look at that next part. The post-approval. So that means that your member has submitted an application and now it's time for you to go in and approve it after the fact. Now, of course, there's multiple ways to do this one as well. Right, and one way to do that is you get a renewal link in the application received email. So here's that one that I did for Marky Mark a few minutes ago. Here's a notification here. Congratulations, a new renewal application has been received for Marky Mark. Would you like to go in and approve this now? We can also review the application as part of this link. see how they answered their questions, and have a discussion about that. The other way we can do that is to click on the renewal link in the Pending Applications screen. So the Pending Applications screen, let's go take a look at that. In BNI Connect, we're going to go to Operations. We're going to go to Manage Memberships, View Pending Applications. View Pending Applications, and here we'll see all of the applications that have been input for the chapter, both new applications and renewal applications that haven't yet been processed by the regional office or that might be missing information. So here we have Marky Mark's renewal. We can see that it was a renewal. We can see he paid by check. We can see the date he submitted it and the fact that it's submitted. It's now giving us an option. Do we want to go ahead and approve that? So we click approve. You'll notice this looks pretty much exactly like the pre-application. Here's a couple of things. It has a link to the actual app. It also has a big yellow note here. In his renewal, this member made some changes. Please review this application accordingly. Of course, it has the performance. It still has the training details. Once again, we can certify this. We can choose conditions. Now we also have the option to decline if we want to. So we can decline this renewal. Let's say that, you know what, he was great as an architect, but as a computer guy, we're not so sure, so we don't want to accept him for that position. You can decline this renewal. Couple of things about the decline. It will not notify the member. If you decline a renewal, the membership committee needs to follow the regular process using the accountability letters in order to let that person know that they have been declined. It also means that the person they're not automatically dropped or kicked out of the chapter. If they still have 2 months left on their membership, they have every right to complete those 2 months. They just weren't, approved for a renewal. I mean, it could be that there's just an error on it and you'd like them to go back and, reapply as a different category. So again, the decline, you're registering the decision, but the actual notification part of it, you need to do with the member. But I'm going to go ahead and approve Marky Mark. Marky Mark, if I approve him, will get an email saying, congratulations, you've been approved, process complete. All right, so just to review real quick with the leadership team process, membership committee receives the renewal, the leadership team member records the approval, and then at the regional office, we have some accounting work to do. All right, and as I mentioned, there are a number of email notifications that go out for this process. There's a bunch that go out prior to renewal. There's the 21st of each month membership committee notification. There's the member renewal notification. If a member, there's an email that goes out if a member opts out. So on their renewal reminder, they have a link on there that says, you know what, I don't want to renew at this time. I want to opt out of renewal. Again, it doesn't kick them out of the chapter, but it does notify the leadership team that, hey, you know what, this member just told us they don't want to renew. In other words, this is kind of like a last-ditch effort. Maybe you want to give this member a call and find out why they're not renewing, okay? There's also the pre-approval email, during the renewal, there's the submission email, the payment email, the received email, the member details email. After the renewal, there's the approval email, the payment email, the approval announcement, or the decline announcement. Again, that doesn't go to the member, just to the team. If you're in one of these positions and you want to know what you're getting for emails, have a look there. So just same exact list, organized slightly differently. By the way, if you would like a copy of this PowerPoint, there is a handouts section in this GoToWebinar software. Just click on the link to download. I uploaded this particular PowerPoint there. You're welcome to hold on to it, to use it, to have it in your possession. If you are listening to this email in the future, go ahead and email me, support@bniconnect.com, and I will be happy to email you a copy of the PowerPoint. All right, so Barry Stein says, who from the leadership team will do the recording? I'm going to give you two answers to that, Barry. The first answer is, generally speaking, the normal process that most regions follow is that the vice president is the one that goes into BNI Connect and records that approval. From a permission standpoint, okay, by default, BNI Connect is set up that for the most part, any leadership team person can do just about any function in BNI Connect. So the president, the vice president, and the secretary treasurer all have permission to go ahead and do that. And we do that on purpose because, you know, let's say that the vice president is out on vacation, or, you know, they need knee surgery and they're going to be out for 3 or 4 weeks. There's no reason why all these processes, you know, not just this, but, you know, entering POMS reports and entering speaker rotation and all the other things we do in BNI Connect, no reason for them to all come to a halt. The president can back them up, or the secretary treasurer can back them up. So does that make sense, Barry? So as far as how it's going to work in your region, I mean, that's something that you guys can discuss with your director consultant or with your executive director, Jeff in this case, and you know, we can, you know, kind of tweak that process to make sure it works, you know, on a regional and chapter level. All right. So that, my friends, as I said, it was about 25 minutes. I just about hit the nail on the head there. Do we have any questions at all? As I said, I am happy to stay on these calls until every single question has been answered. All right, while you guys are thinking of any additional questions, here's some additional contact info for me. Of course, you can always get to the support site, support.bniconnect.com. We have our YouTube channel, we have our Facebook feed, we have our Twitter feed. Support@BNI Connect is my email address as well. Barry says the new members, they will be handled in writing still. Yes, that is how it's going to continue to be for now. There is no online full application. One thing I'll tell you that we're working on that we should have relatively soon is a fillable PDF copy of the application, but it still needs to be manually entered into BNI Connect. We don't have a full online application quite yet. There's some different processes that happen with the online process. You know, this works, by the way, because a member does have to log in to BNI Connect in order to process that, because we have our application kind of behind this firewall. With the brand new application, that applying member doesn't have a login anywhere yet, so it's tough to tie all those pieces together without making all these you know, fancy rules. So they are working on that, but we don't have that quite ready yet. All right, so hopefully that helps, Barry. All right, do we have any other questions? Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, compliments? All right, so if there's no additional questions or anything, just a reminder, this is part of a series of webinars that we do every single month. We are on our last webinar of the month tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be going over the chapter web pages. So we're going to go in, you know, how do you update your web page? What kind of stuff can you do to your web page? Give you a couple of examples of things that people have done with their web pages. So that's going to be tomorrow. Again, another 30-minute webinar. Starting April next week, we are going to go through the whole series again. So we're going to go through all 9 webinars like we do every single month. We're going to start out with our leadership team webinars, since we do have new people coming into position as of April 1st. And you're welcome to join us for those. We're going to start with the goals and leadership team tools and proceed through the month with our member webinars as well. So a good referral for me. If you find this format helpful, if you found you learned something today and it was easy to follow and easy to listen to, I've always been told I have a face for webinars, or a face for radio. A good referral for me is to please spread the word about these webinars. You can find all the signups on your regional web calendar. All right, I'm not seeing any more questions, so I'm going to say Thank you guys so much for being here, taking time out of your very busy days in order to learn a little bit more about this process and to better support your chapters. For those of you from BNI Miami that I see on the call, nice seeing you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. In the meantime, happy connecting.